Giancarlo Stanton has revealed the truth on his return to the New York Yankees after an extended period of absence, while the Yankees have been forced into an impossible decision regarding their team and their personnel. As we all know, there is a huge logjam with this squad, and now we've heard a lot about it with multiple players speaking out on it, with Aaron Boone kind of hinting on what the plan is going to be, as well as the New York Yankees have to navigate a tough situation going into trade season, and we are going to break all this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. If you guys are part of that 75% that's not subscribed and watching these videos, make sure to subscribe. It helps us out a ton. We're on that grind right now. We got videos every single day. You do not want to miss out on all this great Yankee coverage. However, let's jump into the video. That's what we're all here for. Look, the New York Yankees, obviously, fans rejoiced as Giancarlo Stanton returned to the field for the first time a couple days back, and it didn't take long for him to speak out on the situation. Obviously, this was a massive storyline going into everything, as Stanton has been one of the best players on the Yankees for an extended period of time now. The Yankees acquired him after that season where he won MVP and hit 58 home runs with the Miami Marlins in 2017. And then he had mainly an injury-riddled Yankee career, though when he played and when he would get hot, he would clearly still show that he was that guy. And as far as the 2024 playoffs went, he once again showed he still is that guy who won MVP with the Marlins in 2017. Obviously, now that was a while ago, and can he hold up for a full season? We know that he absolutely cannot. However, what he can do is still be a phenomenal baseball player, and Stanton was asked just about his return. There's a bunch going on about it, and he mentioned that with not as many at-bats under my belt, that's going to be the most important thing. Just make sure I'm ready, see the ball easy, normal things you would say mid-season, but just emphasize it a little bit more now. It's great to be back. Obviously, you want to win, but it's good to be back out there. I saw the ball pretty well besides one at-bat, so we're just working on that, making sure my timing is geared up and get rolling. On top of that, Aaron Boone also mentioned saying, I would think that things might come up from time to time, and that could play into different things on a given day if you feel like it's the best to give him a day. But I think he's built some good momentum here over the last couple of months with it. The strength in his hands and things like that has certainly returned in a good way, so certainly something we'll pay attention to. But we feel like we're in a pretty good spot. Now, I've said this before, and I will say it again. Whenever I'm transcribing Aaron Boone and then having to read it out, it's impossible because I don't understand why Aaron Boone speaks the way he does, and it absolutely annoys the hell out of me for having to do that, but that's life. Look, Aaron Boone there was just essentially alluding to the fact that Stanton's not going to play every day. He's still returning from a long-term injury, actually 2 long-term injuries. The man had the elbow thing going on, and then also he has a calf thing going as well. He's obviously not someone who runs the bases well or really hustles that much when he runs the bases. He doesn't really look like he's all out sprinting because the Yankees do not want Stanton to get injured at all. He's there to hit balls. He's not there to sprint and outrun people. So as long as he could still just be the DH who's cracking 27-ish home runs a year in 114 games or whatever it was last season, that's good enough for us, especially when it comes down to that playoff performance. And that's what's going to matter, is Stanton's performance in the playoffs. Now, last year, he did .233 batting average with 97 hits, 27 home runs, 72 RBIs, and 49 runs scored in 114 games that he played in 2024. He won his first American League or just any league championship MVP award as he made his first World Series. His OPS was a 773, slugging was a 475, and on-base percentage was a 298. The numbers don't jump out as anything spectacular, but very, very solid for a DH nonetheless, and still hitting 27 home runs in 114 games is still very good. It's still Giancarlo Stanton, and when you look at the playoffs, that's really what matters here. The man had a batting average of 273 with 15 hits, 7 of them being home runs and having 16 RBIs. The man had more RBIs than hits. He scored 9 runs in that span in those 14 games, winning the ALCS MVP, getting absolutely just an incredible stat line. He was walked 6 times. He struck out 11 times, so he had more RBIs than strikeouts, which you love to see. And the man was just phenomenal. Had a 1.048 OPS, had a 709 slugging percentage, and an on-base percentage of 339. So Stanton did his thing, and the Yankees need him in that DH spot because how well he's played in the playoffs. This is not a fluke. This is not anything new with Giancarlo Stanton. He's done this repeatedly in the past, where he's just shown up in the playoffs and just been that MVP player, which is important because Aaron Judge has struggled mightily throughout his entire career in the playoffs. So obviously seeing Stanton perform like this is very, very, very good to see. However, nonetheless, Boone still has to navigate a logjam here, and that's something that's not going away for this Yankees team whatsoever. So it was mentioned by Jorge Castillo of ESPN that Boone has the luxury to play it on the safer side with an offense that thrived without Stanton, the 2017 National League MVP. The Yankees entered Monday ranked second in the majors with a 123 weighted runs created plus and 794 OPS, with Ben Rice, Aaron Judge, and Jason Dominguez primarily cycling through that DH spot. That's where things become complicated for New York. Stanton's return will, as it stands, present a daily lineup puzzle for Boone to solve, not only in the DH slot, but also in the outfield, where he has Judge plus 3 players in Dominguez, Cody Bellinger, and Trent Grisham for 2 spots, center field and left field. Decisions will mostly come down to workload and matchups. Paul Goldschmidt, another former MVP, and Dominguez, one of baseball's top prospects entering the season, were the odd players out on Stanton's return on Monday, though both did enter the game late, as obviously that was an extra inning game. So they were stepped in for multiple things. Dominguez stepped in to be a pinch runner for Stanton. Goldschmidt stepped up to bat. And Aaron Boone said about this, I talked to them, and we know what the goal is. And right now, it's just to get to the playoffs and to try to win a division. And then obviously from there, trying to get to and win a World Series. So making sure we have everyone on the same page and the buy-in. And there's going to be days where maybe a guy deserves to be in there and isn't. Everyone's not going to be happy about this all the time, and that's okay. Now, unsurprisingly on this, Giancarlo Stanton said, whatever is best for us to win, that's important. And the guys that are going to be starting are going to come in huge pinch hit spots. So in that opportunity, it's usually a chance to win a game anyway. So yeah, we'll work with it. So Stanton obviously doesn't seem too concerned, and especially right now, I doubt he expects to play every day when he's first warming up. He'll play whenever there's a lefty pitcher starting the game. He will DH over Ben Rice because it's just the way that things are going. It's the way that Ben Rice struggles against lefties, being a lefty, and Stanton has absolutely been killer against lefties throughout his career. And Rice also is coming back down to earth. He's got a 229 batting average on the season with 12 home runs, a 769 OPS, and OPS plus a 114. Slugging percentage is 458. He's still having a good season. I'm not acting like he's not, but the way his numbers were at the start, he really has come back down to earth after a very hot start. Now, I still think Ben Rice can become an excellent player in the MLB, and I do think he is the Yankees' future first baseman after this season. And once he gets a more consistent role, I imagine the numbers will stay consistent, and that's going to be a huge part of things. It's clear he has power in the bat. It's clear he could do a lot of things on the field. It's just a matter of him kind of getting things going. Now, also, Boone has mentioned a few times that he will catch some games as well, so he can ensure that Ben Rice gets in there sometimes. Austin Wells is not having the greatest season in the world, so it does give Ben Rice some room to be a catcher again. It'll be interesting to see how he hits the ball as a catcher, because right now the hitting for a catcher is excellent. Dominguez also not having the hottest start to his real rookie season than maybe some of us, myself included, expected. The 709 OPS, the 385 slugging, the 324 on base percentage are a bit lower than I expected they would be. He does have 9 stolen bases, so he's flashing that base running well. He's still got 26 RBIs. He has 6 home runs, a 236 batting average. He's not necessarily playing poorly. His fielding in the outfield has been good, even though he had to switch to left field kind of on a dime. However, it's been good, and I do want to see Dominguez get out there and continue to get reps, and he will. I don't think they're going to bench him at all because he is a very valuable player to the team and an important player for their future. It's just a matter of sort of figuring everything out. Now, on top of this, we see a guy in Paul Goldschmidt who also got benched in Stanton's return. However, Goldie's not going to be benched a lot. Right now, he's leading the American League in votes for the All-Star game at first base, so he's really coming back strong. He's got 7 home runs on the year, a 309 batting average, an 820 OPS, and an OPS plus of 130. He has been excellent for this Yankees team. I don't think any of us expected anything outside of an average player when we signed Paul Goldschmidt. I definitely just expected him to be average, maybe a bit above average, playing for something that matters, but Goldie has completely come back and shown why he won an MVP all those years ago. Are these MVP numbers? No. Are they all-star numbers? Absolutely. So we're still getting a great player in Paul Goldschmidt, and you gotta love what we're seeing out of him. His contact has been phenomenal. So we know that we're going to continue to see Goldie in there a lot as well, which does implicate Ben Rice a little bit. But if Rice is slowing down, it will give the Yankees a bit of an excuse to not play him as much if that's what it comes to. At the same time, another guy who's been slowing down a bit is Trent Grisham. He's still got a 243 batting average and 13 home runs. He's still playing well with an 806 OPS and OPS plus a 125. He could easily be an all-star reserve still, but it's not the hot start to the season that he initially had. He was in MVP voting to start the year. He's not there right now. However, he is still playing good baseball. He's a great base runner as well. He doesn't really steal bases, but he can run. He's a great outfielder. He can field the ball incredibly well. So you do have a lot of stuff going for you if you're Trent Grisham, and he'll still be in the rotation a good amount as well, more than Dominguez will is my guess. But they will be able to figure things out, especially with Grisham and Rice coming a bit back down to earth, and also Jason Dominguez not exactly getting off to the start you want. Again, not bad, just not as good as we probably hoped. But all that considered, the Yankees are going to have to figure out this logjam a bit, and maybe they are just going to swap the guys out a lot. And if that's the case, I mean, the upside is you'll have a fresh roster that's going to be a bit harder to decipher because you're throwing out a bunch of different lineups every day. The downside is that might throw some of the players off and it might impact them. And what are you going to do in the playoffs? That becomes a real question. We'll see how it goes down. What do you want to see go down? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Yankees.